Good to see y'all.
Hey, Tobias. Kevin McCormick, Clutch Sports. I just wanted to ask, you're coming off arguably the best season of your career last year. What are some of the things you kind of put a focus into this offseason to kind of build on the performance that you had all last regular season?
Yeah, big emphasis in the off season was just obviously continue to work on my body, health, being able to movements, all over the court. Um, but a lot of 3-point shooting off the bounce, a lot of moves off the bouncing off the perimeter, like outside the 3-point line. Uh, that's where I wanted to make the biggest improvements. I think if you look like from the bubble, my biggest improvements I wanted to increase on was efficiency in the low post area inside the 3-point line. So this summer was that, and then adding the outside component of that is outside the 3-point line, and being able to shoot those threes off the bounce and contested three-point shots as well. So, those were the huge emphasis of the summer, like main focus for me. Yeah.
Hi, Tobias. Amy Fiddle, NBC Sports Philadelphia. You've been around the league a number of years. You've been traded. You've been the subject of trade rumors. With everything that's going on with Ben Simmons, one, have you reached out to him to try to kind of be that veteran voice and say, listen, I feel you, I know what's going on? And two, what can you tell your teammates about kind of having to go through the situation where you're talking about a teammate that's not here?
Yeah, I mean, I've reached out to Ben. I've spoken to him. We've talked. To be honest, I haven't been in that situation where he's in. So to answer your question, like I've been in trade rumors and whatnot. I mean, but that's not necessarily this situation, right? But I've done, quote unquote, what you could say, my part of reaching out and communicating. And the situation is what it is at this point. Mm-hmm. Yeah, I mean, we've had those conversations of us as a group of trying to figure out the best way possible to communicate with him and to see where things are. But then we're here as well, and reality is what it is. But we've tried, to be there, and we are there. I mean, like, the situation is what it is, but as a group and as a team, now we start training camp tomorrow, and I don't think he's coming through that door, so we have to push on right now. Yeah.
Kevin from Crossing Broad. Tobias, Joel said that he was quote unquote disappointed, not in Ben specifically, but in the fact that he felt like you guys had a good thing going here and you have more to accomplish on the floor. Do you share that sentiment that you feel like the situation in its entirety is disappointing, that you're starting off a new season but one of your main pieces isn't here?
Yeah. I mean, it's disappointing. I mean, when I signed back here, his expectation is championship team, right? Last season was disappointing as well, that, losing second round. But I think that he's a huge part to our team, right? Like, our point guard. I think, like, I was telling this to somebody the other day, like, if you look around the NBA and just, like, any team, championship team or bottom of the pack team, your starting point guard goes out the lineup. That team is, kind of in a weird spot. Like, I think the PG position is one of the most important positions in the NBA, and so him not going to be here, it is disappointing. But like I've said to the guys on the team, to all of us, like, he's still part of our team. Ben's still part of our team. He's got 15 guys in that locker room probably 7 or 8 of them that played with him last year. That's still his brother, and he's still our brother as well. So we hope the situation could get resolved. If it doesn't, we move on and we get this thing going, because at the end of the day, the 29 other teams that had to play against us do not care. They coming to kick our butt, and we need to be ready. So that's reality of it, really.
Tobias, you said you talked to him and you haven't been in this situation before. So what do you say to, like you said, a guy you care about? What do you say to a guy like that, to Ben, to make him not feel good, but, to address this, to make him feel better?
Well, I think that, I think a couple of things have been miscommunicated. I would say, first, I think that if I knew the situation was going to be where it is right now, the day after we lost to Atlanta, I would have had the whole team pull up at Ben's house and let's just have a conversation. Because, when you got a group of men and individuals, and we all have egos, we all have people in our ear, but I don't think, to a man, I don't think anybody went home that night not taking some type of ownership on themselves that we lost the game. And that's what I really related to him. I said, like, if you turn the TV on, you turn the computer on, you turn your cell phone on, you see all those things somebody's saying about you, right? And if you go down the line, like, those things were said to Ben. Some of those things were said to Joel. Those things were said to me, Matisse, everyone down the line. But the bulk of them came at him, but they came at everybody else, but just lesser and lesser. And I think, but everybody took some type of ownership on themselves that we were in that position. I mean, we just literally watched the fourth quarter and saw how many mistakes were made. It was not one guy who made mistakes. And, if I really knew it was going to get to this, I would have put that out there more to the whole team and got that done. But I think, it's unfortunate. But clicks sell, drama sells. So people want to, when the TV pops up, ESPN, whatever it is, who's on TV, like, this is what fuel to the fire. Like, this is what's there. Like, Ben, he's a very popular player, very popular player. So what's going to draw people to watch a TV screen is more and more chatter, but not understanding, like, a person has to live his life as well. So, this is like one of the things I related to him. So, it is what it is. Yeah. I don't know. Honestly, I don't know if he come back, but I know that I'm trying to win. I know he that's the best name for it right there. He helps us win basketball games. So, yeah, and he's on our team, right? Like, so, shoot, why not? But I don't know. Like, I think that's gonna be on him to make a decision with himself on.
Dan Gelson, Associated Press. 2 questions. First, what is he most unhappy about? What does he tell you about why he doesn't want to play here anymore?
That's conversation between me and him. Right? Like, I'm not. You come on. You're in media. You already know. So, but I'm not telling you what the man told me. Like, that's you could call him.
Do you do you just listen, or do you try and talk him out?
No, I listen, but I speak what I got to say. So, yeah, I mean, I listen, but I also give feedback.
And personally, last year I know you had a really good season, but you were upset you didn't make the All-Star team. Do you look at that? Does that snub still kind of motivate you? Is that something you set as a personal goal?
Not necessarily. I kind of understand from being like, having the 2 years where I believe I was at all-star level. I understand like just the political swing of it or whatever. So at this point, like, it's the goal is to win championship. Like, if we're at a championship level, I do believe it happens. If it does, that'd be amazing. But if not, go win a championship. Like, that's my mentality.
Yeah, Tobias, Tom Moore from the Bucks County Courier-Times. After having such a good regular season and the series against the Wizards, you struggled a bit in the fourth quarter, the last 4 games or so against the Hawks. Were they trying to take you out more, do you think, or were you not being as aggressive? Like, what do you attribute that to?
Not really anything. I think it's just the flow of the game at that point. But yeah, I mean, there's a lot of missed opportunities out there for me. But only things that I know I can get better at, and I think that once I get back out there this year, it's a new ball game. But I mean, we go all the way back to the Atlanta series. Like, it's kind of tough for me to remember what was going on. But yeah.
Does that motivate you at all?
Oh yeah, I mean, like, I'm a winner, so anytime that the goal wasn't achieved, that's motivating for me to get back to that position and further. So that's where that motivation comes from. Yep.
Good. Hey, Dave Murphy with the Philadelphia Inquirer. This city's got a long history of kind of looking itself in the mirror from a fan base perspective. I mean, going all the way back to Mike Schmidt being booed. A few people have played in front of as many home crowds as you have, and I was just curious, like, what's Philly like compared to kind of some of your other stops? Do you understand? Why it gets the reputation it does, and do you think that has much of a bearing on Ben and where his mind is at, and kind of having to come back here and play in front of a crowd that turned on him a little bit in Game 7?
Yeah, I think to your point on the Philly fans, now if I had to break that down, I would just say that being here, it's a passionate fan base, and there's just a lot of fans. Like certain other teams, right? If like a city, whoever, any other NBA city, right? Like small market team, let's just say they have 100,000 fans. Philadelphia has 5 million fans, right? So there's more. So like if you lose there, you get hit up by 100,000, whereas in Philadelphia you're getting hit up by 5 million fans, right? So if you lose, obviously, simple math there. So I think there's just it's heightened, right? It's overinflated, like, because there's a lot of fans who care about basketball and that are very passionate for not just basketball but sports in general in Philadelphia, and that could be a bad thing if you lose, and that could be a great thing when you win. So I think that plays effect. I think if you ask me, the fans, do I think that affects Ben, or has led up to where we're at now? Like 100%. But every person is different, right? Like some people enjoy fans being that aggressive or have that much energy, and some don't. And I think there's always a medium balance of how you balance out fans, how you balance out highs and lows through a season as well. So I think those are all, I had to learn about that as well in my own personal career. So I think it's just one of those like things where you kind of gotta look yourself in the mirror as well and see like how you figure out how to balance that.
You had to learn that here?
I can't hear you. Say again.
You had to learn that here? You said you had to learn.
I would say I had to learn probably like after we lost to Toronto, after we lost in the bubble. Like, yeah, I had to learn, like, okay, like, why does this get you that upset? Like, why, like, when fans are sending you DMs, death threats, like, why does that get you upset, right? And, like, for me, it was like, that gets me upset because I want to be, like, one, I want to win, but I want to be better, right? So, like, it's a self-reflection, you know. I feel like it's like when you talk to a therapist. Like, for me, like, that's really how to break it down. Like, talk to yourself like you talk to a therapist on why that may, like, why does that bother you, right? And it's just a self-reflection. I'll be honest with you, I had to go through that, me personally. So I think everybody deals with it in a different way.
Thanks, man.
Hey, Tobias, Gina Mizell from the Philadelphia Inquirer. Nice to meet you.
You too.
Yeah, just Doc said that, and you actually mentioned it too, that you guys watched the fourth quarter of Game 7 as a group. Just when you guys watch that collectively, what are the things that most personally just eat at you? Like, just, I know you said it's a long time ago, but when you sort of go back and watch it, what are the things that you kind of just eat at you?
Easy shots that were right there. Then on top of that, like, their shot making was key. I mean, they have guys making shots, but two hands in their face, really, right? Like, it was contested shots that they made, execution as well, late in the game. So those things kind of ate at us as a team. But for me personally, like, those were key things that could have shifted the game from a loss to a 10-point win. So, it's just a learning curve. These things take time to build a championship team, championship organization, culture. Those things take time and take those type of losses to turn into wins.